So you can take this bike anywhere, can't you? It's brilliant. Whoa.
Go, 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 go.
Market.
Full magnifique extraordinaire.
Put the 10 down now, get the road. Got everything that I want from the Picos Mountains. There is something massively magical about driving over a bridge which is from the medieval times, from the 16th century, 500 years ago. Just imagine what's been over here since then. My goodness me, dogs, donkeys, cows, gaggles of geese, ladies in narrow carriages. The first view of the sea, the first proper view of the sea, the first coastline. We're just leaving Bayona in Galicia, heading towards Portugal, and then the 930 kilometers ride down the coastline of Portugal, which is going to be absolutely fabulous. This will be a distinct difference from riding in the mountains. Yeah, lovely. Coastline all the way now down to Lisbon and beyond, Albufeira, and on to Tarifa back into Spain. This is great. It's been raining, it's getting sunny. It's going to be a great day. Crossing the River Minho, and this is the Tui International Bridge, built in 1886. The myth was it was built by Gustav Eiffel, who built the Eiffel Tower, but it's not true apparently. The mesh girder design gives you a kind of a clue. But yep, on the way to Portugal now, crossing the river. Great, looking forward to it. I mean, if that section of coastline in Galicia was anything to go by, I suddenly thought, blimey, what's Portugal going to be like? It's famed for its beaches. World famed for it. Molido, here we go. And there's a village near Molido, which I've just read about, and I think it might be a place where I might stay tonight. We'll have a little think. I feel like an inexpensive hotel room. Here we are, the coast of Portugal. Make it out just a little bit. It does. It's like 1620 something. Gosh. Oh. Well, that was an unplanned move to find the bell tower and then to go into the church, which was an incredible contrast to obviously just to being outside. It's really quiet and serene and spiritual, and that's what I think I probably need to do actually, is look for little tasks, create little adventures, have little things to pursue and find and discover. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to find a flat white somewhere. Smashing. Right, well, I think I'll have my first flat white of the day here. Let's see if they serve them. I'm sure they do. Marvellous. Flat white in a lighthouse. Nice one. Let me see. I'll just park up here. There we go. park there, pop up to see if I can have a coffee. Oh, this looks lovely, actually. Looks really great. Yeah, I can have a fly away here, no problem. Nice. Now, in all these lovely little Portuguese villages and in the back road area, there's always a seating area somewhere for a family to have a picnic or something, or it could be a small rural bus station. There we go, there's one. Right, what's this big road, or biggish road? Up here, nice. Let's see where we can, there we go, that'll do nicely in the shade. Oh, perfect. I'm starving. Time for lunch. There's something lovely and earthy and satisfying about cooking your own food outside, you know, on your bike ride. I love it, actually. It's really great. Where is everybody? You know, when you come to a village like this and you never see anybody, they're either working in the fields or the factory, or I don't know, maybe they're hiding. Oh. It's funny actually, but the points of interest that I'm looking for, they all seem to be historical monuments or something religious, churches and monasteries and things. Maybe this is where the money was spent, or these are the things that were particularly preserved. I don't know. Uh-oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to ride my motorcycle across the bridge, so I think I'll just go up here and park up. I'll just go there. Yeah, just go and park up here. There we are. That's it. I won't be allowed to go over. Alright, well, let's have a little look. This bridge is 900 years old, and the town Ponte de Lima, which is named after the bridge, is the oldest town in Portugal. And I'm not quite sure why modern buildings don't, well, last as long as the you know, buildings of antiquity, for example. I suppose it's just a better built, and I don't know, I mean, they say a skyscraper only lasts as long as about 200 years. And yet, you know, here we've got bridges which are 900 years old. What does that tell you? I don't quite know how to get into the town because I can't go over the bridge, obviously. And there was a construction in the other entrance into the town, but well, maybe I'll find a way. It's quite nice just walking, actually. I love popping my nose into buildings and old churches. Yeah, I've definitely properly spanked if I tried to ride my bike over this bridge, blimey. Yeah, I think I'll go and get it and find a way into the town and get myself a flat white. Then maybe we'll carry on to Porto, who knows? Yeah. So there it is, the Ponte de Lima. Probably one of the oldest bridges in Portugal, 900 years old, built by the Romans, extended during medieval times, and here it is. The town is named after the bridge. Interesting things, bridges, though. I mean, they are an amazing construct when you consider the difficulties of transporting armies and families and farm animals and produce and supplies across rivers, which in flood would be impossible to traverse. And so they build a bridge, and this is it.
Go asfixiar a filha dele só para lhe morder o rijão. E os convidados saíram, e eu entrei para a cozinha. Fui-lhe passando a mão naquela carne bem.
Mind you, I've got 75 megabits per second.
It's not too bad, really, is it?
No, it's 88. That's pretty good. Oh, the upload.
So the
Hang
main
on.
thing is
Upload's
you
not
don't
good.
need, you just need to film everything that you're doing, Nick. You don't need to try and edit stuff in your head like you, because you're usually doing your own editing, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. I've just explained to Canberra what we're doing now. I'm talking to my son Willow, who is actually editing my stuff, but we've got to upload it and download it on a Google Drive, and you know, from wherever we are, and sometimes the uploads takes longer than you think it should take, but that's part of the process of digitizing your life, if you like. You know, it's a digital journey. Well, it's a real journey digitized, and I think, you know, that's what it is, really, getting stuff on film and getting it out on the internet. It's not complicated, it's a due process. Right, there you go. Well, I've explained to the camera what's happening.
It's more complicated than you think it's going to be.
Lots of bikers, lovely. This is the great thing about European cities. They have lots of festivals and lots of saints' days. It's all rather good. Oops. Right, oh my goodness me, a lot of cars, yeah. So I think I'm on my way to Porto, and then Porto's really one of the main cities. It's the main city after Lisbon. And then I'll go on to Lisbon itself, and probably the Palace of Sinitra. We're basically still trying to find a formula, not a formula, but a sort of methodology, sort of a reason for this journey around the edge of Europe. And it'll happen. It'll slowly evolve why I'm here and what I'm looking for. I do think it's a little bit like, you know, what is Portugal all about? You know, what is Portuguese? What is, you know, how do they differ from the Spanish? I mean, it's a curious question. I don't know, does anybody know it? But apart from the Spanish and the Portuguese themselves, for example, it's quite difficult asking yourself, you know, what is a British person? It's very complex. I mean, it's not a bloody bowler hat and the Grenadier Guards. It's a lot more than that. You know, ordinary people don't wear bowler hats and don't eat roast beef, just like the French think we do. They call us Monsieur Roast Beef. Oh gosh, I can't go any slower than this. There we are, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not in a van. Anyway, what a beautiful little town, the oldest town in the whole of Portugal. Super lovely, super nice. Oh, but we're time to move on. I mean, the Ponte de Lima is so not what I expected it to be. I thought it'd be a small hamlet, a picturesque hamlet of historical buildings, all about 900 years old, built by the Romans. But then this is what you get. You get the tourist buses, you get the expansion, you know, you get an urban environment surrounding the historical centre. Lots of people want to live in this pretty little area, and all of a sudden it's no longer small. I mean, just curious to find out. I mean, it's an ever-changing world, isn't it, really? And you know, you look for these little honeypot areas, and I can't deny they're rather lovely nevertheless, but everybody wants to see them.
So for me, Porto is the best city of Portugal, okay, because and that's where I most hear from the tourists and like everyone from Portugal. Here is more like warm and welcoming, you know, like we talk to everyone, like just I did with you to warn you that was leaking. Like Here is incredible, great views. It's always up and down, but that's what makes the views. We have a lot of monuments, a lot of history. It's really, really good.
What is about a Portuguese person? What is Portuguese?
What is Portuguese people? Like the first thing that I can remind is not that good. It's like complaining. People complain too much. But yeah, that's it. Like we talk to everyone. We try to be always nice, you know. Welcome. Like we don't really want to know where are you from. Like we ask, but it's the same. Like if you're from here, from the south, from every country, like everything the same. Yeah.
I think tourists are great. I think it's very, very necessary, and I think they love to go on holiday and have a look see, which is fine. I think traveller tends to dig a bit deeper. Really, that seems to be the essence of travelling and overlanding. And I think motorbiking probably is a different level altogether. That's what I feel anyway. A different kind of deeper experience where you're actually interacting with what you see by the way you ride. But there's no doubt in my mind that the more people that travel, the more people understand the workings of the world, and also about meeting lots of really nice people, because the majority of people are super nice. It's not complicated. The one thing about riding a motorbike is you've got your own personal form of transport. You're not having to book schedules with bus companies and trains and all the rest of it. But on the other hand, you're kind of slightly tied to the vehicle because it's just over there and I want to watch it. So I'm going to go back to the bike now and I'm going to carry on around Porto. I'm going to see if I can find that bridge. Mind you can't not love Porto. It's really special, isn't it? Look at this going down to the river. Oh, it's absolutely magnificent. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think I'll be able to park up here for a moment and then I'll turn around and make my way out of town. Yeah, I'll go a bit further actually. This is nice. This is really nice. I'm going to turn around here. Oh no, hang on, I can go down there a bit actually, I think. See what happens. So somebody tells me off. I'll stop here. I mean, bikers are naturally outsiders. I mean, they come in on the inside and make connections when they want to, when they choose to. I suppose it's a bit like crossing a city, really, because you're moving across a city, you're not part of it, and then suddenly you stop. And when you stop, it kind of changes a little bit. You sort of become, you notice the detail. It wasn't so long ago that I was electric cycling around the world and cycling across Portugal and the Douro Valley near here, and obviously through Porto itself. It's two wheels, I get that, but it's distinctly different to riding a motorbike.
Obrigado.
I do feel a little overwhelmed by big cities, to be perfectly truthful. I find that there's too many people for me. I like my deserts. I like my solo riding on lonely roads. I know the Atacama Desert, I know the Nubian Desert, I know the Sahara Desert. I've ridden across deserts all my motorcycling life, and I know that's my happy place. But Porto is really lovely, and yeah, the people are really friendly. They come up and they have a chat. I think it's great. That's the exciting part of cities. Well, I've purposely got myself lost. I mean, I'm looking for some wiggly roads in the mountains, which are not that far away from the edge of Europe, the coast, I suppose. And it's obviously, being a coast, it's obviously flatter. And what I've noticed is suddenly it's very, very busy. Busier than I thought it would be. And of course it's down near the N1, which goes from Porto to Lisbon, plus the autoroute. So it's a very busy kind of corridor. And I'm trying to get away from it. Very nice. Yes, very nice indeed. But we'll go down here where there's a little bit of grass. Nice. So you can take this bike anywhere, can't you? It's brilliant. Whoa. Oh, goodness me. How about that? Lovely bubbly. I think we've got our campsite. Nice.